fucking nuts.
But this is a very exciting year for both of us, so I'm very excited.
It is an exciting year for both of us, but I feel like everybody keeps saying that to us. I'd be like, such an exciting year for you. Wow, so exciting. And it's true, because we're getting married this year in April, and
yes,
that's super exciting. It's going to be very fun. But after that, you know, is it only that? I mean, does that make it an exciting year, or does that make such an exciting spring for you guys? Is really a little bit more accurate, is it not? Because it's like our wedding being in April doesn't make for an exciting fall. Like, what does that have to do with that?
I think people correlate that with like, then you're newlyweds.
Automatic happiness for several months.
Sure.
There you go.
I mean,
if you're in a bad mood for the first few months of your marriage, you didn't, you know. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, okay. So it's like guaranteed excitement. Okay, I see what they're getting at.
Yeah,
okay.
And I feel like we had the luxury to not really think about our wedding so much in December because we are on top of all our planning and stuff.
Right.
But like now that we're in the new year and things are rolling with our wedding and just everything related to that, it's like, oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, and there's always more stuff to do. I mean, it's one of those things like I don't even know if it's. I don't even know it's the kind of thing that anyone would want to listen to us talk about, the wedding planning, because I feel like it's the most boring thing ever. Not that it's been boring for us. I've actually had a good time doing it. I just feel like I've heard every version of like, it's expensive. And then there's always another thing. And like, okay, so what are we going to say that hasn't already been said about it?
Yeah.
But all that shit is true.
For sure,
it's super expensive. As soon as you're like, I think we got it pretty much, we're good. And then you look at like all these other details that you have to figure out that you didn't think about. And I'm saying that as someone who I produce TV shows and live events, and I make things like this happen in my professional life all the time. So it is definitely a testament to how big of a thing it is to get so many people there. We're doing a destination wedding in Colorado, and so like that brings its own hurdles and shit. But we're doing all right. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, and I think just because a lot of people haven't been able to travel very much in the last couple of years, so regardless if they're excited about the wedding, like it's an excuse for them to travel. Yeah,
and we're having like a very private affair. We're not having, it's not a super public place. Depending on the weather, we're trying to have our ceremony outside.
Right.
So a lot of it is like we're creating an environment where so long as, we make sure people are tested and the climate of everything is okay, everyone should feel comfortable enough to like have this vacation. We're not having it at a resort where we're going to have a bunch of other public strangers that we have to worry about.
That's true.
But that being said, one of the reasons why we're having it in Colorado is because I love Colorado and we vacationed there. You had a great time, but it's one of the only states where you can have cannabis at your wedding, like kind of on the up and up.
Yeah.
You can do it anywhere. There's cannabis at all weddings all over the country. Like not all of them, but a lot of them. But we wanted to actually have like a bar where people are serving it and it's like super on the up and up, like just a legitimate thing where we're saying you don't have to sneak off behind the barn or go find like, where's the smoking room where everybody's smoking weed? It's like, oh no, it's just that tent over there. You go over there and that lady is going to roll you a joint. And especially for the people on my side who are from Texas, who are like pro marijuana, are going to be like, like it's just going to blow their mind. Yeah. Some of them have never been to Colorado or California or anywhere where it's legal. They've never walked into a weed store.
Right. That's so wild to me.
They still meet a guy in a parking lot. They still use Signal to have a lady named Breeze come by with the white lady with dreadlocks who comes by and gives you a flyer for her interpretive dance group along with her big bag of weed. And it's like, and then it's always a strain. That's the thing that I love is if you smoke weed in places where it's legal, there's a whole network of growers that you can research, like where it came from and what other strains it was made out of. There's a science to it that's really pretty transparent. Not all of it, but a lot of the places you're like, this is a OG Kush, and it's from this like place in Napa Valley, and blah blah blah. And you're like, okay, word up. Like I know kind of the science of it. They treat it almost like wine. In the places where it's illegal, you could just make up whatever the fuck you want. Like I used to sell weed and people would drop it off and I thought the name wasn't attractive and I would just change it. And I would just be like, nah, this is like, I remember someone was like, they dropped off a bag and it was, oh God, what was the name? They were like, it was like, this is called stinky shit or something like that. It was like, and I was like it's stinky shit? And they were like, no, it's called that. That's the name of the strain. And I was like, no.
Not anymore.
No. And then I told everybody, I was like, it's bubble gum or something, Like, I was like, oh, bubble gum. And they're like, I smell bubble gum. Yeah, word. And you're like, all right. Good for you.
Roll with it.
Yeah, who cares? Roll with it, roll it up, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I will say, it's amazing that we did find a venue that allows that, but it was not easy.
Yeah, exactly. We thought it was going to be like everywhere in Colorado is like smoke your weed like you drink your beer. It is not like that.
I thought it was going to be super easy finding a venue that allows that. I looked at over 50 venues and I emailed some because they weren't like 100% transparent about it. And the emails I received back were like so bizarre.
Like what?
Like just giving me advice to not do that. Like a lady.
Like people trying to talk you out of having it at all.
Yeah, like she was like, it's not the most responsible thing to do, like to have at an event. And I was just like, I just asked a simple question and you're like coming back at me like,
yeah, like I actually wasn't
you.
Well, and also it's like I wasn't getting into this for advice about my wedding. Do you allow it? Yes or no?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a whole paragraph back. Like obviously I didn't respond, but it was weird.
Well, you have to think too, especially in Colorado, like California is really big. And I'm sure there are plenty of mixed reactions to marijuana in this state, and we can get to that in a second too. But like, you gotta think there's gotta be quite a few people in Colorado that are like, God, I miss not being the weed state. Like they don't like weed. They don't want weed around. They miss when it was illegal and people hid it from them. Like in the same way that a lot of people are like glad cigarettes are gone. Mm-hmm. There are people who miss when you could smoke inside a restaurant. Mm-hmm. They still exist. There's not a lot of them, but they still exist. My dad's one of them. He's like bummed you can't smoke in more places. Mm. The majority of us are glad he can't smoke in more places.
Right.
But with weed, it's reversed. And it's like, that used to be the kind of thing of like, look, if you're going to do it, that's fine. But like, go outside, go out around the barn, go around the garage, don't let your grandma smell it. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people miss that time when it was a little bit just overall more of a discreet thing. And in Colorado, especially in Denver and those bigger city areas, it's a part of the culture. Like the way live music is part of Austin's culture. Mm-hmm. Denver is like a weed town. Well, what if you don't like weed and you already lived in Denver because you wanted to live in the mountain town of America?
Yeah, but that just proves that things change. And
yeah, true shit. I mean, I'm not like that. I'm just saying there's gotta be people like that.
Oh, for sure.
And you encountered them. They own wedding venues and they're like, fuck, no, we're not doing it.
Right.
We're not doing the fucking weed. Stop
because
calling.
you would think with the private property that they would be more lenient towards that, but then it's the owners who own that property, it's their call. Right. Whether you can do it or not.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're at a fully private property place, so we can pretty much do whatever we want within reason.
Yeah, and funny story. The reason why I found our venue is because they have like cannabis expos, and they travel around, different states. And with COVID, obviously things weren't happening for a little while. But I looked up like the locations of where the cannabis expos in Colorado have been happening, and our wedding venue was one of them.
They hosted it.
Yeah. So I was like, if they don't allow it, then what are they doing? So.
Yeah, no, true. And you also encountered places that were like, we will allow it, but you have to choose whether or not you're going to have cannabis or alcohol. We will not allow you to have both.
Right.
So this was also one of the few places that would let us do that.
Yeah.
But that being said, we did not land on I guess we'll settle for this. We are obsessed with our wedding venue. Like Lionsgate Event Center is beautiful. I mean, we haven't done it yet, so I don't want to give them a full 100% endorsement, but we have been there. We've already given them the money. So it's like, we might as well say it's great until it's not. But we went and we expect it to be fantastic. We're really, really excited about it. It's beautiful. So I didn't want it to build up to say like, it's the only one we could find. And it's this guy Kenny's backyard who'll let us do whatever we want. It's beautiful, but it was a weird process. And now we have this situation where we're going to have cannabis at the wedding. We're going to have 2 open bars. We're going to have an open cannabis bar and an open beer and wine bar. We're not gonna have liquor. It's we have a BYOB thing basically, since it's a small private wedding. If someone wants to bring a flask or a bottle or something, they clean up after themselves. Who gives a shit? I'm sure there's gonna be Texas people who land in Denver and are like, "Can we hit the dispensary on the way to the hotel before we go?" Like they're gonna want to get their own shit too. Same thing. You want to bring your own stuff. Use responsibly. Respect everybody, and clean up your shit. As long as everybody does that, I'm totally cool. But we do have the issue of we have your side of the family attending in large number, and we're not really sure what everybody's take is going to be on an open cannabis bar being at the wedding.
Right.
And you and I have discussed what we think the best strategy is for handling them finding out about that. Should they find out at the wedding and it's like, take it or leave it? Should it be like beforehand, like verbal conversation? We made a wedding website that we're launching shortly that has the information on it.
Yeah.
So that's a way that they could find it. Your thoughts?
I don't want to verbally have conversations with my family members because I feel like at the end of the day, this is my day. I don't drink at all.
Right. Like I'm having wine right now. She will not have a single sip of this, period. No wine, no beer, no liquor, no nothing, no drinking, not ever. Not a drop, ever, period. And I only say that equivocally because, and she's also, I want to say this just to back her up before she continues. It's not like she's never drank. She's drank before. Absolutely. Many times. She's given it a shot. She's out on it. So this, like America and so much of the world's favorite intoxicant, number 1, fucking a 0 over here. So what do? Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, thank you.
I just wanted to go hard on that because I don't think people get that.
Sure.
And I want to give that full scope because there's a lot of follow-up questions people have.
Oh,
when you say, I don't drink.
Are you religious?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it all.
I would just get all those answers out.
Sure.
So continue about why it's important to you and stuff.
It's part of who I am. I don't apologize for it. I, do it responsibly. I know my limit. I've been smoking for years. So it's not like a secret that I, try to keep it a secret. Like, I don't talk about it at family dinners because, like, why would I do that?
And to whom?
And to whom? And, like, why would that come up? Like, if there's a heated conversation about it and I want to, like, advocate for it, I definitely will take that stand. But, like, I can't imagine it coming up in my family functions. Like, You've met them. It's not going to happen.
And you know what? The not drinking thing, her whole immediate family, mom, dad, brother, no drinking. Ever. None.
Yes, my parents gave them wine bottles. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a gift from her parents because they were like, we got this as a gift and we don't know how it works. So so they gave it to me and Kyle to have, which we greatly appreciate.
Like 3, 2 or 3.
They're 3 bottles. Yeah. We got 3 bottles for Christmas. They're great. I'm not bougie enough to know if they're any good. They're in bottles and not bags or boxes.
You don't have to slap the bag.
Yeah, no. So
I know some stuff.
You know some stuff.
Yeah, so it's laid out on the website in detail. You put it in bold text for some of it. Like,
I explained why we're doing it.
You explain why. And I feel like part of the process of RSVPing is to look at our website. So I don't feel like I'm hiding anything. I'm still debating. I probably should tell my immediate family. It's kind of a sensitive subject. It's not like they don't know I smoke.
But don't you think that will accomplish your goal because of how, like, gossipy your family is? Like, won't that just trickle down to all the people it might affect? And, like, your mom's going to be like, oh, well, you better tell so-and-so because they're not really, a big fan of that. And, Like,
yeah. I mean, I've had talks with my parents separately about this topic. And it's one of those,
how's that gone?
One encounter was pretty dramatic. And I was like, you feel how you feel. I feel how I feel. Left it at that. When I talked to my other parent.
Can I ask what dramatic means? Like you guys had an argument or what was dramatic?
It was dramatic because basically my parent was like, are you smoking? Like she, okay, it's my mom.
You almost did it.
This was years ago though. So
fucking pronouns, they'll get you.
Yeah, but it was, she, just asked me flat out, are you smoking? And I was like, yes. And then she asked me to write her a letter, like a verbal consent letter type thing, being like, I will never smoke again. And I was like, I'm not doing that. That's crazy. It was one of those, I was like 25.
I love that.
Living at home. So that's another factor. Like I was under their roof. But yeah, it kind of just washed over. It was weird. I was like, I'm not doing that.
And then what happened when you talked to your dad about it? And that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, yeah. But he was actually like pretty... He went to UC Berkeley, so he gets the scene. He's been around it. He definitely has more of the opinion of like, the older you get, like you're just gonna,
it's a phase.
You're gonna taper off, yeah. But beyond that, I haven't talked to him recently about it.
Where's your brother on it?
My brother's indifferent.
Kind of like, not for me, but whatever.
Like he's had his phase, but
gotcha.
He doesn't smoke anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who is in your family that you can think of now that would not come to the wedding if you told them ahead of time? And you're worried that if you verbally were like, listen, there's going to be a weed bar, that they would be like, oh, fuck, now I can't come. Is there anyone that's like that hardline about it? That would be my biggest fear.
Yeah, I don't know where a lot of them
They're Los Angelinos.
Like, I know, but...
You don't have to love it, but how averted to it could you be while still living in this city to be like, I'm not even going to be at a thing where it's at. It's like, you can't even be in your own city if that's your rule.
Yeah, but babe, like, the way we're setting it up, it's very professional. There are bud
it's
tenders.
So legit.
It's like the high-end way of doing it.
Oh, yeah. It's bougie as fuck.
And the safest way. And we did that on purpose, and we invested in that.
We have an adverse reaction kit ready.
So if that's really how they feel, like, you know, that's how they feel. And I can't change that about that. That would suck if they didn't come to my wedding because of that reason. Like, that's insane.
But you can't think of anyone off the top of your head who's like, uh-oh, I hope they don't find out.
No.
Okay, good. I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be fine. And most people are going to be like, oh, ooh, I didn't know. Okay. Wow.
It would be one thing if it was... It would be one thing if our wedding was in LA and like, of course, then my dad would want to invite like all his childhood friends. Like he has so many people here that he knows from like 30 years ago. And
that's another reason we did the destination wedding.
Like there's so many more people
to limit
that would have been there if it was an LA wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that's not the case.
Right.
It sounds like it's going to be really fun, and it is a destination wedding. So the people who really want to be there will be there. And I am like 1,000% okay with it. I won't get my feelings hurt if I invite someone and they're like, oh, it's too far, or like, you know, to plan ahead, like all this stuff. Like, that's fine. But of course I want you there, but I'm not going to like hold it against the person.
Right.
I would be a little judgy if it was like in my hometown and I knew they were home and they're just like, I'm not going to go. But I can't imagine that scenario. So.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I think we have like nothing to worry about then. And we should do it your way and just put it on the website and be like, here, it's all here. If you got any questions, hit us up.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if someone went through the website and then texted me and maybe asked more questions, or if they felt strongly about it, send me a message.
Right.
I don't think someone would see that, like a family member would see it on the website, be really upset to the point where they don't want to go.
Yeah.
And then not tell me and not go.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I enjoy my family members. We do see each other. It's not like I don't see these people.
Yeah.
So that would be a different situation.
I think we're going to be good.
Yeah, me too. I'm still on the fence about like my parents, I guess. Right. But
hey, we're grown ups.
I still have some time.
And we're also not, we're not kids getting married when we're like 21, 22. We're not throwing a kid's birthday party wedding. This is
29.
It's gonna be a legit ass party. Like I would invite professional party goers to this. I don't know what that means. But like just on a standard
professional
level. Yeah, people who are like, we go to parties is what we fucking do. Get paid to go to parties.
Oh my God, my head automatically goes to like background acting.
Okay. I'll be like, you're invited. Judge it against the best parties you've ever been to.
To be fair, in my age group, party goers as a background role is so popular.
Oh, so yeah. Like, that's half of what you've done.
Yeah. So it's like,
is pretend to be at a party.
That would be a professional party goer.
That's true. Hey, thanks for watching this clip from We're New.
Hey. Okay.
You're supposed to tell him. You're supposed to tell him they can watch other clips right here.
Oh my goodness. Yes, what he said.
If you are, you want to.